because I know Randy Orton, when he snap, when he be turning around, he be hitting the mat.
I love that fucking snap. That snap.
Listen. He coming for back surgery. Y'all may not get the snap. Y'all just gonna have to do with y'all just gonna have to deal with the arms up.
We can get it one time
and call it a day. Guys, welcome to the Survivor Series edition of the Big Four. As always, I'm Janelle from HR, and I got two of my favorite ladies in wrestling joining me for this episode. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Cheap plug yourselves. Don't let everyone know that's viewing and listening who you guys are, and if they don't know you, they need to know you.
Hello.
So I'm gonna start off to my right.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Miss Krista B, one half of those wrestling girls, and I am here, and I cannot wait to talk everything Survivor Series because y'all know this is my favorite PLE.
Whoop whoop. All right, to my left.
What's going on, everybody? It's your honorary wrestling girl, Seindole B. I am a content creator. I am a full-time lover of wrestling, and I'm not a wrestler, but I love the content, and I'm here to talk about it all.
Ooh, that's a slogan in itself.
It is.
I was surprised. I was like, damn, do I need a slogan?
You know,
I think I need one now.
Y'all know me. I got to wait
that?
with words. You know how to.
Right, like I was sitting here like, well, damn.
What did you do? Did you memorize that?
Like she was ready. She
Right.
said, action.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But no, I thank you ladies both for joining me along with Krista. Survivor Series is near and dear to my heart. It was my first ever wrestling pay-per-view. I went to the 2002 Survivor Series first ever Elimination Chamber here at the Garden in New York. So Survivor Series is always near and dear to me. So it's good to have someone here that loves it just the way I love it. But before we do talk about some predictions, talking about how the road to Survivor Series has been, I actually want to play a little game first. So, as everyone knows, I am one half of the duo of Battle Club Pro, and shout out to Joaquin Morales, always my partner, one of my partners in crime. So I actually wanted to play this game with you guys, fantasy book. So, the scenario is you planning your own 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination original match, because we haven't had one of those in a very long time. So, 5-on-5. It can be men and women on the team. Who's on Raw and who would you represent Raw and who would you represent SmackDown?
Okay, 2 questions. Dead or alive?
Let's do it live. Let's be realistic.
Okay.
That's a valid question because I was like,
Nice question. I would have asked the same thing.
Secondly, are we going through the eras?
Current era. Because once again, as much as I love the past, we have to live in the current, the present.
I hear you.
And the powers that be do be listening.
True.
Word.
So if we have a mix, I want to do a mix because we haven't had that yet. Of course, I would have Street Profits and Bianca.
Oh, who would be team captain?
Oh, Bianca.
Okay.
Bianca would be team captain. You got Montez and Dawkins. I believe they would be for Raw, for sure.
Okay.
And then for me, it's gonna be like a couple of things. So then I have Seth and Becky to kind of like close that out.
Okay.
For Raw. For SmackDown, I definitely have Charlotte because I don't know how I feel about this Charlotte Becky coming together thing yet.
Listen, have you not ever had an argument with your best friend?
Yes.
And you guys step away from each other, and a simple phone call,
Me and
conversation.
Nikisha did it for a year.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Whose fault was it?
Mine.
You know what? That's growth.
Yeah.
Owning it.
Accountability.
Of course.
Damn, really?
For a year. You would never know if I didn't
Absolutely
tell you.
not.
You never know. But me and Nikisha didn't speak for
So
a year.
crazy is, and this is how the small New York is. I went to college with her best friend. So, I've known Nikisha for years.
And I went to high school with
So, when I found out they were besties, I said, what is going on here?
What is this?
But no, I think it's dope because, she's an awesome person.
She
and,
is.
It was so funny because everybody was so cliquey in college, low-key. So, like, her and her girlfriends were, like, they were, like, the year under us. So, we were kind of, like, the big sisters to them. So, it's always good to see her. So, when I see the two of you guys, I think it's dope because that's a really strong sisterhood. And I could appreciate that.
She definitely called me and was like, Janelle? I'm like,
yo, everybody does that.
I was just like, which Janelle? Because I have a little cousin named Janelle. I'm
Fair.
Like, she was like, well, not your cousin. I said, well, what's Janelle? She goes by Janelle from HR. I'm like, that's my sis. How you know it? She goes, we went to St. John's together. All right.
Yeah, so girl, we've had nights. As you have probably had nights.
Of course.
But okay, so you would have Charlotte. Would she be your team captain?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Charlotte will be team captain. Then I'll have Rhea. Charlotte and Rhea together. I want to pull up from NXT, Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
And
That's why
Trick
you-
Williams. And Trick Williams.
Okay.
And then for the last one, it'll probably be like a wild card, like a Kyrie Sane.
Oh,
Or
Pirate
Asuka.
Girl. Okay. I love you some Oscar though. But...
That would be mine.
Okay. It's an interesting mix. So many different styles of wrestling. What about you?
Let me cook. This is why me and Chris like this,
Okay,
'cause
we
Carmelo Hayes
here.
Williams is number one.
We
I need them to run through the barricade like DX style and just bring up
Okay.
the best of NXT. So I definitely want Ilya Dragunov because I'm obsessed with him now. So it would be.
What was
him.
his change? What was the shift off for you? Because I feel like it's taken
think
a while for everyone to
he
get
didn't
used
get
to
a
him.
chance to. He mixed in with the rest when he was in NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was an avid wrestler when things were getting a little. I did watch NXT UK, just a throwback. He didn't get a chance because he had Tyler Bates. He had a lot of other people that were like him. Now he's mixing it up on this side, and he's like, okay, now I'm getting ready to work. Like, I'm not going to change for you guys.
Right.
I'm going to be me at NXT
Right.
US, but I am going to best you. And I think that's what he's doing with Carmelo Hayes. So out of all the best thing they've done of each other, it would make sense to put them on a team together. And then you got Trick Williams, because you know it's Trick Williams.
Period.
It's Trick.
Trick.
Always naked.
It's Trick.
And then if I had to have a female in there, and people might judge me for this, but I'm putting Tiffany Stratton in.
Woo! I'm not judging because that was on my list. Woo, that was on my list.
Not judging either.
Tiffany
She
Stratton,
is. She
impressed me.
is really what they would have wanted Charlotte to be in that stage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
I
it is
agree.
such a dope thing for her. Like, she has the dopest moonsault in the business. Not even just in NXT.
Clean.
Clean. Like,
Clean, because if you watch it when she started, it wasn't clean.
woo.
I know. When she hit that damn floor at NXT last year, this year during WrestleMania weekend, I was like, sis, you all right? Like, she was sitting with Kaiser in the hotel lounge. She was sitting there.
First of all, when I found out that was a thing,
I know.
that needs to be a thing on TV.
Yeah, it does.
Low key.
It does.
That needs to be a thing on TV.
And I
It's
was
funny
like,
you say, hold on to that. So
I wanted to walk up to her like, girl, you all right? Like, you need an ice pack? Like, I really wanted to walk up to her and just ask her that because she hit hard.
Mhm.
That moonsault was not clean, and then you hit hard on top of that. You
Yeah,
could have
it
broke
ain't hard.
every part of your back hitting that damn moonsault. I'm glad she's okay. Glad
Yeah.
she's okay. But that right there, child.
Woo.
And then my fifth person, well, are we doing fours or are we doing five?
Do five.
So if I had to do
Tradition.
five, my last five would actually be Core Jade.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause I
Well,
feel
her,
like somebody on this-
her and her new tatas.
Listen,
She got
honey,
nude boobs?
Let me tell you
That's
something.
why she hasn't
Let me
been
tell you
wrestling.
something.
oh, she pulled the Charlotte.
She got
She pulled the
Right.
Charlotte, she pulled the Tiff.
She
was
pulled
like,
a Nikki.
Listen,
Yup.
your body, your choice, your paycheck, your right. That's all I gotta say.
I
about
saw it
that.
on the gram. I said, oh, she got new tatas. Okay.
Well, happy birthday to the Garcia twins. I definitely just mentioned Nikki. Today's their birthday. Just saying.
Oh, happy birthday.
So on their opposing team, I actually want Roxanne Perez
Okay.
and Lyra Valkyrie.
Okay.
Same thing. And for the guys, I'm gonna make it messy. I do want Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I do like. Listen, I've been calling him.
Not you splitting up the couples.
That's fine. It makes it interesting.
Mhm.
It makes it interesting. They did it to Trinity and Jimmy. They could do it to them. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it gets tricky because I like Braun Breaker. I also enjoy Tony D'Angelo.
Yes.
For NXT, but I think the
With his
person,
Velcro suit jacket.
and I think the
love
perfect
it.
person to lead them in all that would be Cody Rhodes. I think the person that would
Damn.
even out the balance is Cody Rhodes. I think if just for the messery and because he's just a wild card also in there, I throw Steph Rollins in there.
Okay.
I think I might judge you on the Cody Rhodes.
I know you
Wait,
would.
what?
I know you would.
A little bit.
bit.
What is the judgment about
I feel like you
Cody?
would.
I don't know. Like,
Whoa.
I mean, it's your fantasy. So however you see it play out in your head, I just wouldn't see Cody Rhodes on a team with a Braun Breaker
Well,
or I don't know. I feel like he sticks
so
out
if
like
I
a
could
sore
take,
thumb on
so
that
the
team.
one thing
But-
though, I
but
would if
would
I could
you-
take out Cody Rhodes, I'm putting in the Creed brothers because that would be a cook ass match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be a cooking
I
match.
think the
But,
Creed
but
brothers-
to that point of Cody, would you ever, like, if someone would have told me even a year ago that Cody and Seth Rollins would be on the same team, I would have been like, nah. I would have been like, absolutely not. And now
Cody
that's
seen
a
him making
thing.
calls like he been there a while. Talking about something, I called Randy up.
right.
But
I
it's
called for a
believable.
favor.
It's believable, though.
I mean, they do got legacy.
Man,
is
when he
believable.
said,
He said I made the call.
Cody is so dramatic, even with no voice.
in.
So
He
dramatic.
said he's in.
He go, no, my guy's in. My
He's
guy's
in.
in. Your guys
He's in?
aren't
Yo,
in. My
yeah.
guy's in.
He's in.
That was the thing when he on Raw. He was like, why would you ask them that? And you already had somebody that was in.
I guess he just wanted to make sure. Like, then it was like you have to like pull the shortest or longest straw out the pile to see who can stay and who can go. So he just wanted to make sure, like, is y'all guys, they not good? Okay, my guy's good, then he can stay. Like, you know. So I guess
That
it
was
was
the
that.
wildest thing. I said, what?
He's
did
a
you
wild
even ask
card.
that?
He's a wild card.
But those that are watching, that will be listening in the comments, please put how you would book a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. It's a fun little thing. I think all of us as fans, we fantasy book all the time.
Every day.
And I
Nonstop.
stand by it. I do take out Cody Rhodes and put in the Creed brothers because I like them. They cook.
Yeah.
They cook and they cook well.
See, but not my fear, but my thing with them, and just really any tag team, is always one that outshines the other.
It's Julius.
And right. So it's going to be that time where it's going to be like,
He's kind of their prototype mixed in with a little bit of generic freak. So obviously he's going to succeed.
But both of them are so talented, and it's just so good to see them on the main roster now because I've been a fan from the beginning when they were in NXT from the beginning. So it's good to see them.
So would you
live in
choose
color.
them over Pretty Deadly?
Oh, shit. They're
Right.
two different styles, though.
That's the point of Survivor Series.
I thought you were talking in general.
No, I'm talking about like first, like on a fantasy book because she took out Cody and Seth to put in the Creed brothers. So I'm like, would you choose the Creed brothers over Pretty Deadly to put into a Survivor Series team?
I probably still
I
would.
probably still would.
Yeah. Just strength-wise. But I'm just saying overall, as like a tag team, Pretty Deadly definitely, I think for me, has a bit more charisma. They have a bit more character development. Like, they have a gimmick. And no one has really done that since, Fambrizo. So I just feel like them.
Fandango.
Yeah, and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been something of that type of character in WWE since then. So that's why I'm like, nah, Pretty Deadly is like, they're the ones that people don't talk about, but the people should talk about.
Yeah.
And they put on bomb-ass
Good
matches.
yeah.
Like, they put on matches. And I'm just like, these 5VO freaking...
When they were doing the thing with the belts, I was like, you
Prototypes.
can't get that.
But let's talk about how he was in a wheelchair for an arm injury.
Right.
Let's just
And then your neck hurt.
Yo.
And then your kneecap hurt.
Yo, it was the funny. Yo, 1 week.
And then your eyebrow got plucked wrong.
Right.
Like,
I said, wait.
But you know what
why
that
in a
gives you? Shout out.
wheelchair?
You know what a shout out to though? It's funny that you talk about that because remember when Randy Orton first started and his whole thing was the Randy Orton report and
Because he was injured.
and then he was like he was giving you doctor updates and then he was out. He's like, I'm gonna expect to be out for another 6 to 8 weeks.
yep.
See, that was genius though. at that time, because no, they probably had never done because that was like a solid 8 months at least that they were doing them promos with Randy.
But it worked.
Yeah,
It
because
got
it
people
kept.
irritated
But
with
they
him.
also saw the potential in Randy because when Randy first came, it was just like, you sure you Bob Orton's son? And you
was
sure
pretty. He
you
was
third generation? And
You know, people looked at him. I think
know.
people thought he was too pretty to be in Orton. And I think once they saw him in the ring,
I
they're
thought
like,
his
"Oh."
grandfather was not that bad looking. His daddy a little, but grandfather not that
He's
bad.
friends to his mom girl on that one.
You
I'm
know,
just saying.
not that bad. But we speak about Randy. I guess we can jump into Survivor Series this Saturday. Chicago. The return of Randy Orton 18 months later.
18 months later.
So what to my question to you ladies, what do we expect post Survivor Series? Like if
Randy
you
giving RKOs out of nowhere to everybody. That's on period. No, I don't know.
no, but that sounded good.
I
though.
mean, right? Didn't it? Yeah.
But I don't know. Did you watch Raw last night? Did you?
I
get it?
did.
Okay.
I caught that part.
Okay.
I was in and
So
out.
that was the thing, and that's why I'm like, yo, Jey Uso, I did not think was gonna be the breakout star. I'm not gonna hold you. I felt like Jimmy had more of the swag. I felt like, even though he didn't really talk as much, I just felt like he had a certain presence. But Jey Uso being able to have 15, 16,000 people bop for him.
That's what I
That is
thought.
amazing.
When I was
But
watching, I
here's the
said, I
thing.
want to go to Chicago to do that. Like, I really want to just be in there bopping. Like, everybody's on rhythm, on beat.
On beat.
Like,
But
everybody.
that's the thing. And you bring up that interesting point because that's what separates the two. Jimmy's always been swag. You only get to see his comedic side. Shout out to Divas with the Bellas. You only get to see his comedic side off camera, and that's fine. That's his personality. But when it came to which the two were going to have the most enthusiasm, you definitely got to count on Jay. because he's always been amped. If you look at them as a tag team when they started, he was always the one that was amped. Jimmy definitely gave more of
the face
swag.
paint made me check out. Not gonna hold you. I really wasn't an Uso fan until Uso said they was in jail and they was out of a penitentiary. Like, to be honest with you, not gonna hold you.
Oh, you mean the same jail Dominic went to?
Yeah,
The
the one that Tony D'Angelo was at too.
The one that they was all looking out for each other.
Right, he was in the pen.
The one that Chase might go to, depending on what the hell he did.
All of them.
Still trying to figure that out.
Still trying to figure it out, girl.
But even with, I just always felt like Jade was the more reserved one, the more quiet one in that sense.
Yeah.
So for me, seeing him being able to control an audience to bop to him with 16,000 strong, that's impressive.
Well, I felt it, really. I questioned it a little bit. I'm not going to hold you. But I really, really felt it at SummerSlam. For him to have the reaction he did, and mind you, we're live. Like,
Ford Field.
Yeah. We were live.
With 60, 70,000 people. And,
to move to the floor and feel his energy, even if they hadn't changed the music yet, people were bobbing with him at SummerSlam. So I was like, okay, they know what they're doing. They're onto something here. And whether it be because everybody was against the tribal chief, which I would never be against the tribal chief, ever.
Put your ones up.
I'm not. I refuse.
She doesn't.
I refuse.
But I knew it was probably likely because they were against that. But just to see him, if it even wasn't because of that, I could feel, I'm like, yeah, they're definitely about to push him to a caliber of, this is our enthusiasm guy. This is the guy we want to sell the action figures to. This is the guy we're going to, if we bring back the ice cream bars, we're putting him on the ice cream bars and he's going to sell.
Bring back the ice cream bars. Thanks.
Well, you never know. Saturday is a certain individual that, gave out ice cream bars to a crowd in a different company. It could happen again, guys. All right. You know what? Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
That's a big elephant.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I think it's a medium-sized elephant, but it's a lot of barking. I mean, there's a lot of talk with no bite.
Size of the elephant, right here.
So as everyone knows, Phillip Brooks, formerly known as CM Punk, had part ways from AEW. And the rumor ever since he left AEW is that he gonna come on back home to the WWE. And question to you ladies, do you want that?
I don't care.
In a business sense. Think of it as in the business sense of it.
I'm gonna be very honest. When CM Punk debuted, I was not watching wrestling.
Okay.
So, and then the clips and stuff I saw, I was like, what is really the hype behind him? Because to me, him as a wrestler, I don't feel like he gave what was perceived for him to give.
Right.
For me. And I'm just like, what is this? And then he does the pipe bomb. And I was just talking about this at work with my coworkers on their podcast. Shout out to Bad Business. And it was just like, you come in, you do the pipe bomb, you got people on your side because you think you got them thinking this company is corrupt as they come, and they're not giving you a chance. And they was kind of showing it when they kept turning off your microphone, you this, that, and third. You disappear for a little minute, then you come back to AEW. They give you everything that you want, everything that you asked for, paved the way, made the pavement gold for you. Can't get no golder than gold. And you fucking flop, you fumble, and you leave. It's just like, now going back to that pipe bomb, was that really true? Or was that you having a temper tantrum on TV for everybody to see it because you didn't get your way? Mm-hmm. So I don't care for him to come back. Whether he comes or goes, I really don't care. Like, you have done nothing in WWE and in AEW to impress me to be like, oh, yeah, I love CM Punk. I'm so glad that he is back. I feel like he's my Rey Mysterio. You know how P can't stand Rey Mysterio, wants him to, like, be shelved? He's my Rey Mysterio. Like,
Patricia don't like Raymond Mysterio?
That
was the bigger of the two.
She's just...
Not in the bingo card.
She's just like, he's like Edge and Sting and all of them. Like, y'all had your time, retire or whatever. That's how she feels. CM Punk, you had your time. You fumbled the bag twice. It's time for you to put you on the shelf now. I don't care if you come or go.
Okay.
Y'all looking at me because you know I'm a fan, so I'm gonna just
So here's the thing with me with CM Punk, and I've talked about it on our podcast and just either off camera or on camera. I always felt like they did him wrong at the end. Mm-hmm. And people will say what they want to say, but when you look at it in a retrospect, how they did him was dirty. they had him at the time. He was the longest reigning champion. For him to then drop it to Dwayne and lose that WrestleMania spot to a part-timer, to have Jonathan Cena and Dwayne Johnson too, it was just like, it was a spit in the face. I felt that as a fan. I was just like, yo, that Royal Rumble, and they had that match, and Rock won. I was like, for what? What was the reason of that? But I felt like even with after that, the WrestleMania match he had with Undertaker, it was so real, and it was so. I thought honestly, it's one of the only matches I remember because that was my first WrestleMania, which was here in New York. It was WrestleMania 29, and I always said, they did him dirty, and I feel like he is like a side of a coin. It's like Two-Face. You have the good and you have the bad, and that really is with any wrestler. And I feel like if they decided to bring him back, it would strictly be a business move, and I think it would be a smart business move on their part because AEW benefited from him on the business side. He was the highest selling merch. Listen, when they had announced CM Punk was going to be on Dynamite in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I got on a plane to Chicago, and me and my homegirl drove to Milwaukee for that Dynamite. I was there at his first Dynamite because I was like, yo, I'm a fan, and I love wrestling, and I love those moments, and we all live for those moments. And
That's true.
And I feel like if Punk came back, and I said this on our podcast, I said, yo, if they did a run from now to WrestleMania, and then that was it, there's no harm in that. Now, am I sitting here like on edge? Like, is he coming? Is he? I don't like you. I could care each way. It doesn't affect me in that matter. But I feel like for business, I think it'd be a very interesting business move.
But my thing is that you said that AEW benefited off of CM Punk returning to their company,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is somewhat like a startup company compared to WWE. What is WWE benefiting from that? Because you already have top guys. You have Roman Reigns. You have Seth Rollins.
Roman Reigns, who's on TV twice a year.
All right, but my thing is that he's still a top person. Like, you have these people. Roman Reigns is still selling merch. You have Jay Uso now. You have Sami Zayn. You have Cody Rhodes. So CM Punk coming to WWE, like, how is WWE benefiting off of CM Punk? They still gonna keep moving regardless whether he's there or not. Who's really benefiting here?
Really, to be honest, it could be the fans. And sometimes that may not always be the best thing either.
Right.
But in that sense, you get all the fans that once upon a time was a diehard scene. Like when he was champion, diehard CM Punk. When he took that belt from John Cena in Chicago,
that was me.
They were like, "Yo, this is our guy."
And
like,
that's smart because he's from Chicago. So why not defeat one of the biggest stars in your hometown and get that extra pop and push? If you would have defeated John Cena in Boston, them motherfuckers is just as ruthless as New Yorkers.
Oh, but that would have been actually really dope. Though,
It
so I
would've.
know. Now that how you said it, I was like, that actually, because I mean, in any retrospect, everybody knows it's rare that WWE allows somebody to win in their hometown.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, the only person I
rare.
could think about, even off the top of my head, was when Naomi won that title in Orlando.
SmackDown, yep. I mean, at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania in Orlando. That was the only time, and I popped, and I was like, man.
But she deserved it because she
Never
never
do
lost
that.
it. She had to regain herself. She never lost
That
it.
part.
So
That part. Shout out to
deserved
Trinity
it.
doing her
Shout
damn
out
thing
to
on Impact.
Trinity,
I know we talking about WWE, but gotta shout her out because
that's family.
yeah.
So my thought process is, I had to take myself in two different directions as a fan, and I had to take myself out of the fan bubble. Would I be excited if Phil Brooks was to show up a mile away from his home? I'll be honest with you, it would, for the shock factor. As somebody who's had to deal with everything timeline, why has this happened? I would too ask why. And the only thing I could think in his mind, and also from a business standpoint, is they've always trickled the words "never say never," right?
Correct.
And who have we seen that with? We've seen
Listen,
Jake the Snake Roberts.
When Bret Hart came on TV, that was it for
Jake
me.
the Snake Roberts came on that old school Raw with the snake in his bag and all, with John Moxley eating that snake.
He was Dean Ambrose at the time.
I still have my Dean Ambrose shirt.
He's Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, Bloodsport, whatever his name is this week.
Well, I think Heyman and Swerve kind of like took that a little bit.
Took that away from him.
A little bit
But
in there.
as somebody who can understand where he's coming from, like, win or lose, you gotta look at CM Punk, who he is. He's for the fans. Like he's somebody who understands where they're coming from. He's somebody who's even cursed them out on the main stage saying, hey, after I leave, and he's right about what he said, after I leave, guess what you're going to do? You still going to buy the merch. You still going to buy his tickets. You still going to wait for me in the airport to sign your stuff. You still going feel how I feel about this company, but you still going to wait hours online for WrestleMania tickets and come. You still going to wait. So there's people that still believe in him. Like, there are people that went to that show when he got released from AEW that were devastated, believe it or not. And nobody thought they were actually going to release him, which I was looking at them sideways too. Again, a moment to take myself out the fan bubble. What's keeping him there? Like, what's keeping him there? And I think for him, if we're going to rely so much on Cody Rhodes having to finish this story, if he were to go back to WWE, be a general manager, be in business, wrestle, he has to finish the story for him. And it's something that, like I say, I always, like I just said in the beginning, I'm not a wrestler, but I love the content. As somebody who's not a wrestler, for me to put myself in their mind, it's hard for you to tell somebody, you got to stop doing this because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but not understand that this is my passion, this is my life. This is somebody who was in the indie circuit and started their own wrestling business. They were 15. Like, if we can rely on Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy.
I don't think we're relying on those, but
if we can rely on them to come back and wrestle for 15, 20 minutes a match for the wow factor and for the fans, why not him? And I think that's where the business standpoint. And if this was Vince McMahon's WWE, I'm sorry, Vince to me is a little bit more salty than Triple H, but Triple H is looking at the bag. If people were to show up in Chicago and that music were to pop,
if Colt during the first beat drop,
if you hear Live in Color through them speakers,
it's gonna be bananas.
You gonna have another man crying as a meme. You gonna have the social media.
Yo, whatever happened to him?
He still goes.
Yeah, A-Dubs?
Yes, he does.
Oh, good for him.
But you're going to see the social media clips hit millions. Yes, the backstage stuff can be handled. Is he going to have conflict with people? Yes, that's his life. We all know now that follows him. But at the end of the day, who he's really going to be doing it for is for the fans. And that's the only collective I can have on that. Me too. I would be watching to see, Phil, what are you doing here? Are you running NXT? Did Sean say, I'm tired of these kids, you do it? Are you going to be the next Atlas?
He's never leaving NXT.
He's never leaving NXT, but he's not general manager. NXT doesn't have
My man had totally uprooted his whole family from Texas and moved to Florida.
He definitely did.
That man is not going
But if you want
anywhere.
somebody, like if we're ever going to bring back an NXT, Raw, SmackDown, War Games, Sean,
which honestly was one of my favorite.
We need it back. You want somebody that's going to rile up the troops.
That was
and nobody but an
favorite.
angry, bitter, main roster Phil Brooks is going to be able to do that.
That's also dangerous. Because if you cannot sit here and take your personal gripe out of the situation when you're trying to create content, trying to create good stuff, trying to have people talking about you from years to come, and you can't sit here and take that out, but you're in their home, you're in their vicinity, you shouldn't be there.
I agree.
You should not be there. So, like I said before, I don't give a damn if Phil come or go.
Yes, it's neither here or there.
I will be watching.
But I will say, even if they were able to, this is just an if, even him just being front row it speaks volumes.
The Black Hawk.
He don't even, and I think that's the part that we're all missing at times. It's like it's the small, like with WWE, and I've noticed it, and that's the one thing I love about the brand is the details. It's the small things. So if they could even have him just front row, do you know how crazy he didn't even got to touch a ring? And that would be the wildest thing going around in wrestling news for at least a week.
And then
CM Punk was at front row at Survivor. So he didn't even need to touch a ring to be relevant. And I think that's what I'm saying. The small things that they could do to be able to say, here, I'm putting my dick on the table. I'm here for that. Like, look, I can do. You didn't do it right. We know how to handle this one. Let's do it this way. Because even look at how they presented Jade. I've and I've said it on our podcast too. I've said, the fact that she hasn't even touched a ring speaks volumes. The fact that she was able to be face-to-face with Charlotte, with Becky, be on NXT. Like, these small moments, Triple H walking her in.
But at the same time, Jade also left an impact and a lasting good taste in your mouth while she was in AEW.
I don't...
I mean... Okay, but a lasting impression on people. Like, she went into AEW, did what she needed to do, made history. And I think what really cemented her is that people related to her from the D9 chapter. She came out strolling with her AKAs.
Correct, but
Like-
guess what?
Oh.
That crowd and them fans, they didn't appreciate it the way we would appreciate it.
Of course, it was in the wrong city.
It was in the wrong. It was in the wrong company.
It was in
Yeah,
the wrong
wrong
It was in the wrong
company.
company. To be
That's
honest with you.
something, honestly, that's something with the AKAs and everything, and I know it sounds pretty generic. That's something I'm waiting for her to redo at
Oh, she
WrestleMania.
owes me
Oh,
a
yeah,
redo.
yeah.
I'm waiting for her to redo
She
that at
owes me a
WrestleMania.
redo.
She
Stroll.
definitely owes a redo.
Like, I need a
stroll.
live, I need
And actually,
I
I
need a
need
live
the
band.
I need the
I need a
whole D9.
choir.
Actually,
the
to be
whole
honest.
D9. I need the whole, not even the whole D9. Just give me AKAs from. It's gonna be in Philly, so you're gonna have AKAs in Temple. You're gonna have AKAs from. Give me from AKAs from the DMV
Well, she
area.
get.
I need her to call Angelina
That's what I said,
Jolie's
the
daughter.
DMV area.
Yeah.
Listen, I need her to call Angelina
Angelina
Jolie's
Jolie's
daughter
daughter, okay.
and have a
I
backstage
hate
hug.
You all.
I mean, she
And
just
make it
crossed
happen.
AKA too.
She did.
Shoot.
But that's what I mean. But like WWE has a really good, and it also plays into like their production. They have a really good way in showcasing their talent, regardless if they are high on the list or even low on the list. Like I even go as far as like how they've been presenting Tozawa, and I know this is random, but how they've been presenting my man Tozawa on TV. It's been phenomenal.
Not even that.
Ain't nobody been looking for Tozawa in years.
But even
Fact.
that, look
You
at
know
how
what I
they
mean?
said they have their roster, and instead of digging some girls out of NXT, they took Xia Li and they were like, all right,
Yo,
let's see
it
if we
turned
can
out
run
to a
with it.
bad bitch.
They turned her into a
Damn.
nasty.
A lethal weapon.
That
But I
kick-
will say, they had no right in having her and Becky face last night. I will say that.
Who's Zaya?
Yeah, that was wrong. that was wrong on
Can
their
we
part.
just talk about how Bianca slayed her outfit and was still kicking ass?
In fucking leather,
And leather.
black leather.
Hey, Matrix, if y'all may do a redos, give my girl Bianca, okay?
Yo, I'm so upset because she do
she-
most of her outfits and stuff. So I'm just like,
Right.
damn, I wish I was that talented.
She didn't make
Nah.
that.
But
In
yo,
certain outfits, so first of all, I know firsthand when she makes these outfits. Just saying. But that one I know she didn't make. That one for sure. Like, I know she didn't make that one.
but her gear half the time.
I can't wait for her gear on Saturday.
Ooh.
Her Saturday gear.
Well, all right, let's talk about Saturday. Now that we're here.
Now that we here.
And we got, and thank you, WWE, for learning how to not give, it's quality over quantity. I can appreciate that as an older wrestling fan because I don't want to be in an arena all night. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the Saturday shows.
Woo!
Hello.
Thank you for
People
that.
were complaining. I remember in San Antonio, people were complaining like, why is the show Saturday? And I'm just sitting here like, yo, that is such an easier travel situation.
Literally, Detroit. Let me tell you about Detroit.
Ooh.
Detroit, I was able to get on a flight. I was able to get on a flight Friday afternoon, no problems. Friday, had a good time in Detroit. Explored the city just a little
This
bit.
was SummerSlam.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
No, I was
Literally-
asking.
Yeah, this was SummerSlam. Literally woke up that next morning, had breakfast, got to the Superstore, got to SummerSlam, had a great time. Sunday night, I got in a flight. Best scenario for us corporate baddies that still
Okay.
watch wrestling.
Okay.
Because if it was a Sunday show, I can
Forget-
guarantee
The
you.
Sunday be struggle.
Forget
Sunday
the
is
corporate
struggling.
baddies. For us who is well off in our 30s,
Woo!
Cheers
who
to that.
know.
Cheers to that.
Because you understand, like, and that's why, like, I love the flexibility. I love the Saturdays because it definitely gives me that, like, all right, I get on a plane, because I'm off Thursday, so I can always go to the city Thursday, go there Thursday, Friday, Saturday show out Sunday. How simple is
Best
that?
scenario.
That's my plan for Survivor Series.
Well, we
Okay.
gonna pray
That's my
about
plan
it.
for the
We gonna
Rumble.
pray about it.
And that's my plan
Because
for the
what's
Rumble.
also very
Oh
interesting.
no, Rumble! I'm taking vacation. I'm going to be in Florida. Forget all of that.
Florida.
I'm going to be in Florida.
Girl, I will be in and out. Because they perpetrating. They got everybody thinking it's Tampa. And no, it's St.
It's
Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
And that's a very different
I may
situation.
be in and out too then.
Yeah.
Because that's what I mean. Like the travel wise, it's like so yeah. So like we gonna be there. I got a hotel in Tampa. Gonna drive and then we out Sunday. Like I ain't got
I mean,
save my days.
I've never
Because
been
I
to
actually
Rumble,
really
so I really want to go.
Oh, it
Me neither.
honestly,
This would be
if
my
I
second
had to
one.
choose one of the big fours, because I've been to countless manias at this point, that doesn't make any sense. I would choose if I had to choose. I would choose Royal Rumble.
Really?
Hands down.
I was supposed to go this
It's
year,
the
but
experience
issues happened.
of not only counting down with everybody.
The anticipation.
You don't know who's coming out. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like when we were in San Antonio, I was pissed because Cody was 30. And we were, every countdown, we were like, oh, is it going to be Cody?
Technically, Cody
Is
was
it gonna be
number
Cody?
29. Rey Mysterio never came out.
Yeah.
That 17 is still missing.
Listen,
Right.
Just
To
saying.
blame his son on
the
that.
winner of the 2022 Royal Rumble is Cody Rhodes. But no, I would say Royal Rumble hands down. It's just the experience, and everybody just like just being in that. It was super dope. Like the Alamo, like this year's Royal Rumble was dope, and I had went the year before, and that was my first Royal Rumble at St. Louis, and that was when Shane came out. That whole Shane and Randy issue. Man, oh man, I popped for Shane McMahon. I don't care what anybody
I'm so
says.
mad I missed Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. I had went to the bathroom and then
Oh, because
But
I
you
was
know what's
like,
crazy?
girl, you was there.
you know what's crazy? The line wasn't long for the women's bathroom.
Oh, they never are.
No,
That's what I love.
It was the men's bathroom who line was so long. So every time a woman went to the bathroom, they was booing us. I was like, now you know how we feel.
Oh,
We can't just aim and squirt and zip and move. Like
That sounds like a personal problem.
right. But that's why that line was wrapped around. That line was so
I believe
long.
it.
So then when I came out, I was going to get something from the concession stand. I was talking to Jamel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I missed the whole Shane thing.
Damn.
But listen,
Because
the
that was like
conversation
it
with
was
Jamel
here
Hill,
there.
I mean, it's Jamel Hill.
No, I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
no, priorities
Yes.
is intact. I'm never gonna deny that, but I'm just saying, like Shane at WrestleMania, even though he turned his quad, the irony in that is just beyond me. But he's a gem to WWE, no matter what anyone says. But
and I love how Snoop carried it.
right on the
held it down.
fly.
On
And
the
and
fly,
Triple
he
H
held it
literally
down.
shouted him out in a press conference after that. Like when we
On
went
the
to the press
fly.
conference, he was like, "Thank you to Snoop, because he just carried it. We didn't really know it was nothing planned or whatever, and he just really."
Because at
Props to him.
first you didn't know if it was real or not. And that was the part that was actually like really confusing. Because when he went down, it was just like, is he trying to play this off like his daddy did? This isn't funny. And then when he wasn't moving, it was like, okay, this is not funny.
Yeah, this is not funny.
This is not funny at all. But no, I find it interesting. Now we can go back to Survivor Series and give our predictions. I find it interesting that for the first time, because I've been to Allstate before, I went to War Games 2019 for the first time when it was NXT. NXT
yeah.
War Games. I went to that one. And I've been to Allstate a few other times too. I've went for Money in the Bank. This is the
My favorite
first
award. It's actually
time.
my favorite.
What, arena or Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I feel like they've literally opened the whole arena.
What? Yeah, because when they opened
Literally.
up last night, seats opened up
The
at 8.
whole
And they opened the whole
tickets
arena.
is
That's
lit
why
up.
I'm contemplating going, because it's like, listen, I know I don't see no fancy entrances, but literally even behind
the thing. So
The
I don't
title
know
is there.
if they are doing a different entrance or a smaller
might be
entrance.
another low-level
It may
entrance.
be a little, yeah, but like they have and that's why I was like, this is impressive. They have the entire Allstate Arena open.
So that's why I'm thinking of
So it's
going.
Right.
very
Let me
interesting.
have to look up
And I
this
feel like that was a
price.
smart move, especially because you have the 2 rings. And even when NXT did it, everybody fit, but they didn't have that. But like the whole arena wasn't open. So it's very interesting that they opened it, which means they are anticipating a lot of people. And I think especially after
After
Randy
that
Orton.
announcement.
Yeah.
Randy Orton announcement.
Which I thought was so classy.
Yeah.
That was the classiest way to reintroduce someone because of the fact, and then maybe it's just selfishly for me, because I'm going, I was like, if Grand Rapids, Michigan has a random ass Raw with Randall coming back and I can't pop for him, I'm going to be mad.
Where was it at when The Rock came back? Like, what was that?
No.
Denver.
No, it was, no, I'm going to tell you what it was. It was Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, even worse.
And I got a crazy story about that. So you know me and my girl Danny, shout outs to Danny at Pretty Heels. That's my travel partner all around. We were planning to go to that SmackDown. We were actually, like, after my birthday, we were actively planning to go because we were going to go to Oklahoma City, go visit a friend, go to SmackDown in Tulsa.
Oklahoma.
So one of the founders of Mania Club, Ashanti, he lives in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And he had opened up a food truck thing. So we were going to go visit him. Then we were going to drive to Tulsa, go to that SmackDown, and then we were going to drive to Kansas City, go see my friend, because his cousin had opened up a new steakhouse, black-owned steakhouse.
Oh, we gotta travel.
So we were,
Janelle.
You and me both. I've been
we
talking
had
about
a
that
whole
forever.
plan, and it just did not work out. And I was just like, you know what? It's Tulsa. It's cool. But it was the damn SmackDown that Dwayne came out to, and I was like, what the
Just
fuck?
because he was on Pat McAfee's show earlier that day. And you know what's crazy? I was working I was at work and Rosenberg put this in his podcast because I spoiled it. I mean, I didn't spoil it, but I spoiled it. And I was working at Hip Hop Forever concert, and the group chat was fucking blowing up. And Christina goes, "Oh my God, Krista!" When she said, I already knew what happened. And I'm like, girl, I
couldn't even believe it. I said the one SmackDown that I was like, you know what? It's cool. It's not that bad. It was that bad.
And it's fucking Oklahoma.
So that's why, like, I don't listen. These small towns, they be the ones to watch out. So aggravating. But all right, let's get on to some predictions. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this LWO Santos Escobar heel turn? Do we like it? Do we love it?
It was expected.
I love it.
It really was expected.
It really
was. I felt like they prolonged it as long as it was, but really I was expecting Santos Escobar to go on his own, even when he went to main roster. I didn't think they were gonna keep up Legado Fantasma past NXT because it was and that's the issue that I think a lot of people have, and that's the fear that people have when they leave NXT is, can you keep up the same enthusiasm past NXT? There's certain things that only work in NXT because it's a crowd. It's only 1,000 people that get to be in the.
No, it's less than that. It is honestly maybe 250.
Okay,
it is.
So it's a smaller
that's
crowd.
What I said. WWE production is A1 because they make it look so much bigger than it is.
Yeah,
and it really
and it's the size.
It
of
literally
room.
is the size
right.
of this spot.
So
it's a spot of like a Remember Jabba Sam 1?
Oh yeah, the first
kind of like that.
Oh, well, went viral.
Yeah,
I'm weak.
I did go viral.
But it's in that type of space where it's just a lot, and it's and they have bleachers, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's not even. It is way smaller than you think.
So think of that. It's only 200 and something people per week. If it was a special superstore that they had with John Cena and The Undertaker pop out of nowhere, maybe a few 50 more. So
that made me so upset because I totally was trying to go.
And they said they
ain't had no tickets
to capacity.
Yeah,
I kept saying when the commercials kept playing, I said, y'all don't hear that gong at the end. At first I thought I was bugging when it first played. I'm like,
so I don't think the first time it played it.
It didn't.
No,
and then
it didn't. The second time they
played,
did.
Okay,
they did.
It played. I said, hold on,
because that's what messed me up. Because I was already locked in for Jonathan Cena. I was like, well, I'm gonna try to go. And then everybody kept saying, yo, did you hear the gong? And I was like, there was no gong. What are we talking about? Then when I played the commercial on YouTube or something, it happened. And I was like, I didn't hear that on TV.
Me neither. And then they played it on TV. I was like, y'all, Undertaker gonna come out. And then somebody was like, I think we were live. We were watching it live.
We were watching it as a collision.
Yes, we was watching it as a collision.
TWG.
Shout out to TWG Collision. And Pablo was like, shout out to Pablo too. Pablo was like, yo, it'll be so dope if Undertaker came out as American Badass. I promise you. And Pablo lives in Florida, so they could have went. I promise you, no more than 15 minutes later, everybody on my screen is already in shock, and I'm like, I'm about to turn y'all off because mine's a little bit delayed over here.
Yo, so this is the trick. You gotta mute group chats. You gotta mute.
Well,
them.
we were watching it live.
I would have had to maybe come off live.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm gonna have
I'd
to
maybe had to come off live.
I was like, if y'all don't shut the hell up.
Because that's how I was last night watching Raw when I was talking to my homegirl Angie that lives in Chicago. And I was like, I don't know if our TVs are synced, so I'm going to mute her. Because if Randy does come out, I don't want this bitch to ruin this for me. So I had to mute her.
No, that's a fact. And I think
I love her,
it
but
was
I had
a
to mute her.
classy way for Cody to announce that. I was really waiting in true WWE fashion for the music to hit.
Nah. I love that. I love that they kept it still.
Brian was talking about, I'm badass this, I'm badass that, blah, 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 blah. I said, The Undertaker coming. He going to put you in check. And what happened? In the end, he put you in check.
But that's what I'm saying. When Cody was like, oh, we have the Apex Predator, it was probably in that moment where I was expecting yes. I remember I played I have that song on my phone. I play it religiously, and I remember my boyfriend Chris was over at the house, and I was blasting Alexa, and that song came on. And once it goes, he goes, "What the hell was that?" I says, "Randy Orton." You hear voices now, because what we not gonna do is disrespect Randy.
Okay, we not gonna disrespect no WWE.
We are
not
a
in this
fan
household.
of the Randall Keith Orton Club over here.
Okay, Randall.
RKO up in here. RKO.
Listen. And in love, we support Randall,
but
Keith Orton.
Back to Escobar. I was expecting it. So in my prediction, he's gonna win.
Okay, yeah.
Sunday, because give him the moment to shine. If he is to lose, it is to be in the this is what happens when you go on your own. But I feel like it's leaning more
Nah, they
Or
gonna give him a
he
good
has to get the
little
win.
run.
He has to get the W.
Cause Ray's out for a few months.
Yeah,
Like
and plus
he's
it's
out
against
for the rest of the
Carlito.
season.
It's gonna be a good work match.
And that
What?
fall,
Yeah.
Come on,
Ray,
to
that
go
was
against
crazy.
Carlito.
But I think he already had that. I think
Yeah.
that injury, they probably had that set.
Yes, but the way that he fell. And between the steps like that, it looked like he wasn't supposed to fall. Like, he looked like he was supposed to injure himself.
Yeah, but he was
the
supposed to fall
way
like that.
he fell in
First of all,
between.
he looked like he was in the steps.
Yeah, he was.
He was
and then
yeah.
and then Escobar,
like a child.
Pablo Escobar, Lord by Santos Escobar kept mashing the stairs against whatever issue he had. So I'm like, damn, like when you
But good, that's what they said.
that's what like you a good heel. Like
And then that promo he cut talking about some Albert gets infected and it gets amputated. Bro, you trying to make us hate you.
No.
We trying.
However, comment when Santos said there would be none of this if it wasn't for me, he's absolutely correct.
He's
like, he was not lying. Like, I was just like,
true.
absolutely, he's correct.
that's true.
So, yeah, so we got Carlito versus Santos Escobar in a singles match. Santos Escobar, I think we all can
That's unanimous.
agree.
all I need
But
is
it's gonna be a good match
All I
for him
need
and
is the
Carlito.
apple.
It's
I've
gonna
been
happen.
waiting for a damn apple
All I need is an apple.
since Puerto Rico.
Because
Yeah.
he came out, he bit it, and he spit it out, and then ran to the ring. Like, no,
I was
supposed to bite
upset.
it in the
You supposed to spit in
ring.
somebody's face.
Right, but then COVID precautions and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we
whatever.
really going to COVID precautions? Because
guess.
I'm
wrong
pretty
company.
sure.
Wrong company. That's the other company that doesn't believe in COVID.
I'm pretty sure.
We all know.
They
That's
don't
the other
believe in
company.
COVID. They don't believe in HIV testing. They don't believe in,
They don't believe in hepatitis.
Hep C,
A through
B,
Z.
elemental P, none of that. But anyway, I digress. All right, so the next match we have is Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark for the women's world title.
All I need is a Z360. I don't really care about that match. I just need a Z360.
It's
Why don't you care?
It's not. Listen, I am strictly here for war games.
Okay, you know what?
Strictly
Fair.
here for war games. Like every other match at this point, although they may put on some of the best matches. To me, right now, it's a filler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like because I went to war games in Boston last year and I've seen it up close in
No,
person.
it's lit.
It's like I don't want to see nothing else. Make the whole card war games at this point because that's
Listen,
all I'm
that
here
would make
for.
my life 10 times easier.
Right.
In my opinion, and this is straight across the board, just to kill the predictions, I think no titles are changing at all. So I think Rhea's keeping hers. I think her and Zoe Stark are going to put on a good match just because, like, I've been impressed with Zoe Stark.
Ooh,
for
I
a
love Zoe since
long
NXT.
time.
So when she had
she cut-
aligned herself with Trish,
Yes.
Woo.
And when she cut that promo, you can see it itch into Rhea's head. Like, all right, now I really got to put you away. Before you were annoying me, now I really got to put you in your place. Because Zoe is testing her. To
Well,
the point
yeah.
where she's the only person that has pointed out that, like, listen, you've been sliding by. This match you're going to have Sunday, you're going to have to work. Like, you're not going to slide again. That
You
little
worried
thing
about
you had
all these
with old
other-
girl,
Mhm.
that with flex back you had back that last pay-per-view.
no.
You not gonna be able to do that.
No,
Not
not
back.
flex back.
Oh my God.
A pimp named Flexback. You're not gonna be able to do that with me.
Flex back.
You're gonna have to.
I think I'm
work.
gonna have to put that as my Twitter name.
That's the title for episode.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the episode for the day. But that match you had with her, that was your little break. Me, I'm gonna make you work. So it's gonna be a good work match. I do think that Rhea is retaining, and we could say the same thing about Gunther and Miz.
So here's
Oh
the thing.
Lord, go
That
ahead.
reign has to last. It
Go
has
ahead.
to last.
Go ahead.
It has to last.
So I don't see. I do see Gunther winning.
Mm-hmm.
I actually I'm intrigued that they decided to go Miz babyface, and it's been working in a sense a little
Miz
bit.
and Mrs. is coming back. That's why.
But honestly, I don't really care about nothing else. But I just need Miz and his wife Maurice to have a match at Backlash in France. That's it. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking is she's French.
Yeah, against Brie Garcia and
No,
Bryan
no,
Danielson
no,
because they
no,
gotta redeem
no,
themselves.
no,
No, here's why I say that because
No.
when they came back, and I was there when Brie punched the shit out of Miz at SmackDown. I was
She
there
really
for that.
punched him?
She punched him in
I
the
always
face.
wondered that. Was my Roman Empire. She really hit
punched
him.
him in the face. She goes, "I'm gonna go up there and punch him in the face." My thing is that when Daniel Bryan and Brie went against Marisa and Miz, they lost, right? Then you have John Cena and Nikki Bella go against Marisa and Miz, and they win. And I'm just like, what the hell is, like, what's wrong with one couple against the other? So Brie and Daniel, I mean, I get it, but at the same
Okay,
time.
I'm about to say.
I get it, but at
And
the
where
same time.
and where was that match compared to where the other one was?
But what I'm
And
saying
what was it
is-
for compared to what this
But
other
what I'm
match was
saying
for?
is, and this is like being a fan. It's just like, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. It's always like Nikki got more of the praise and privilege over Brie, and they came as a tag team. And Brie was the first one to debut.
No,
Nikki?
but you know where I agree with you on that, because it's the same thing we say about Jimmy and Jay. I thought for sure they were gonna push Brie a little bit more because Brie is the one with the enthusiasm.
Yes.
But Nikki comes in to where, because of everything that was going on, and then Total Divas totally played a part. I'm gonna give you full credit where it's due. With everything she had already been going on, and then they started giving her push, and then they put the belt on her. Then I was like, okay,
The man
they shifted the nozzle.
The man she was
And then
fucking
the man
with
she was
had to
fucking
be
with,
allowed
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything
let's
that
just
she was
call
doing
a
with
spade a
a spade.
spade.
But that's why I
No.
say when the nodules switch, now you be like, okay, they're gonna
No,
have
but
to.
I-
give-
Because they
feel-
made Brie Divas champion first, and she
No.
only had one title reign.
But I
Nikki
feel
had
had
two.
a
but-
8-day
No, but
title reign.
I felt like the whole build up to that SummerSlam match she had with Stephanie was dope.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was worth.
Like,
over
and I
anything.
feel like
To go against
out
Stephanie
of
McMahon.
any other like rivalry or anything, like that was the catalyst for sister versus sister to start, and I
Yeah.
thought that was the. Like I said, the moments they've had.
But then they still
They
made
had.
Brie lose, and still made like they still played.
they
her
made
for
Nikki
a
champion
fool.
Somebody
off of
gotta
Bree's
lose.
back. To
Right.
be quite honest.
Off of Bree's back, they made Brie the servant. Like they made her they belittled her. They made her the belittled twin.
Well, she was always. But look at it when you look at it
there's
this
always
way.
one in the team that don't
But
really
you know,
cut
that
it.
this way, at the end of the day, both win because Brie was a fan favorite, and that settled into their little rivalry. And then as Nikki started turning a little bit more face, even though they were meant to try and, I think they were trying to still make them heel a little bit. And that's my personal opinion. Even as the long title reign of the Divas thing was going on, I still they were trying to make them like annoying heels a little bit. The fans still love them, no matter what.
And they're Hall of Famers. So
No,
what,
period.
What are
Like
we
I was
talking
here
about?
for all that. That's why I'm just like I just feel like they need them.
So, all right,
to
we
do
say
stuff.
Gunther's retaining, Rhea Ripley's retaining. We say
What do we think? Okay, just to go into a little detail, who do we think is going to take it off of Gunther, if not Miz?
LA Knight.
No.
Motherfucking Chad Gable. The end. It'll come back around. Y'all wait and see. Cause that should be the person. I mean, other than that,
thinking Jay.
if not Chad Gable, then Jay Uso will
think
probably
Jay.
do it. I just don't know when he would do it. Cause it's like in like fantasy booking land, I would want, because they're doing the pay-per-view in Germany in August, I would want Gunther to have a title shot in Germany and win.
Mm-hmm.
And for that to happen, he would have to somewhere between January and July, in a sense, lose the IC title. Because I would see him
think
winning
he's gonna
something
go
like
through
Money in the
twice?
Bank. No, I would see him like in a scenario winning Money in the Bank and then low-key cashing it in Germany, which I think would be dope. Because I'm trying to go. There we go. I gotta have one international wrestler. That's like one of my goals. It's like, all right, I've been to all fours. I've been to all fours in 1 year. This is the year I've been to all big fours in 1 year. So I'm like, all right, now it's international. I gotta watch wrestling international.
Yeah, I do want to go to Paris.
See, I
low-key look at it.
too. I'm okay.
I just
They got
first
bed
of all,
bugs. I'm all right.
Chris got a friend who live in Paris, so he wants us
See,
to
so
go.
Danny's
So you
cousin
got-
lives in
yeah.
Germany, so that's why
Yeah,
we
so
like,
I got a
all
cousin
right,
that
we
lives
trying to
in-
do
I got
it.
a
always
cousin that
wants
lives
us
in
to
Paris
go so we
too,
can
so-
kill like 15 birds with one stone. Because I'm gonna have to drag Chris with me to a wrestling show. Like I'm like,
You don't got
fuck.
to choice.
He
That's how
definitely-
I feel, because this one, Mikey want to go to, because he's like, I don't want WrestleMania to be my first big show. So now Loki got dragged him to Royal Rumble so he can get a little taste before he get the whole main course.
Hello.
Crazy. All right, so the first War Games, the women's War Games match, where we have Team Belair, we have Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control, which includes Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. So for those that do not know, the fans are voting who has the advantage, which I think is dope.
Oh, let me go vote for Team Belair.
Okay. So question is, which team wins and who are the survivors?
Well, you know, I'm not gonna go against family. Team Belair wins. Survivors. I mean, Bianca was the sole survivor.
Last year, yep.
Last
Talk
year.
about it.
Bianca was the sole survivor in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Bianca, Charlotte, and Becky would definitely be the sole survivors. It makes sense. But I also feel like Shotzi needs to redeem herself because her match against Ronda Rousey last year at Survivor Series was T-Rash.
Whose fault is that?
T-Rash.
Whose fault is that?
Falls that.
Both of them.
Okay.
BOAF.
We love
Both
accountability here.
Both.
Oh, we are amazing at accountability.
It's definitely both of their fault. Like Shotzi was too green to be on the main roster at the time, and then Ronda Rousey was just not giving a fuck because
Ronda
she was
Rousey
already
can't
on
wrestle.
her way. Okay.
Ronda Rousey's not
Ronda
Rousey.
Rousey,
That's the issue.
Ronda Rousey was already on her way out the door. So either way, they was still.
But you know what? I give you it can be both because as we see on the indies and stuff like that, and just in watching wrestling, not everybody has chemistry in the ring.
Right.
So like I always say, honestly, the one of the few to give Ronda Rousey one of her best matches was Nia Jax, hands down, and it was because they could go toe to toe with each other and do that. So. All right, so you say Team Belair and the lovely ladies of Charlotte
And the two half of the 4 horsewomen.
Right. All right, what do you say?
I'm not buying Charlotte and Becky yet. I understand that the call was made because they needed a 4th person.
So you think one of them's gonna screw one?
I think one's gonna screw the other.
Okay.
I think the sole survivor on the damage control side, some way, shape, or form, because I think she's causing the chasm mess of herself, is Bayley. Because at the end of the day, people forget, as this whole damage control thing has started, even though Dakota's not there, Bayley's been trying to take the credit since day one. So if it's about Kyrie Sane coming back as the upper hand and Asuka coming back as the upper hand, I really think it's going to be Bayley being the sole survivor. A close second is Asuka.
No, here's what I think about that. You said you don't trust Charlotte and Becky yet, right?
Right.
I don't trust Io, Asuka,
but it's too
and
soon.
Kyrie. No, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's
I
not.
think it is. I'm sorry. It's
no,
too
it's
soon.
not.
I don't
Kyrie
think so
came
either.
back at fucking Crown Jewel, right?
But not
Yeah.
as a favor to Bayley, as a favor to Io.
Exactly.
Right,
And
so
my
they're
point
gonna
is that-
out old girl.
And my point is that Bayley's face when Kyrie came back.
Yo, they've been actually
But,
return of the. Yo, shout out to WWE for long term storytelling
Right.
booking.
Yeah, because
And
they
mind
because
you-
mentioned
low
it.
key,
Right.
didn't realize
they
that
both
with
gotta
Kyrie.
get their lick back. Asuka and Kyrie got to get their.
too
It's
soon.
definitely
I don't
not.
think it is.
It's
I think
definitely
it's too
not.
soon. It's too expected. Let me not too soon. It's too expected.
It don't look like it's expected. It'll be expected if it's coming from Io to Bayley, because, like you said, Bayley's been trying to take all the credit from Io this entire time. But it's not too soon if it comes. It's not too expected if it comes from Asuka. It'll be too expected if it comes from Kyrie just a little bit, but not from Asuka.
Listen, respectfully, all them Asian bitches is gonna gang up and kick her out.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be that.
That's a united front.
And to be
United
honest,
front.
it's just gonna set up Bayley versus Io at Royal Rumble for the women's title. That's just how that's gonna go. They gonna kick old girl out. Cause even they was kikiing, Bayley was saying here like what they said. Cause girl, she lost. She lost. But in actuality, as I love y'all know I love me some Bianca Belair now. I actually see Team Damage Control winning, but at the end is when they turn on.
Is
Bayley.
when
They
that's
turn
the
on
thing.
Bayley.
The hard thing for me is not having Bianca win, because I feel like what I'm tired of her losing the damage control. Like I feel like they always. I feel
Yeah,
like
she
it's been
gotta
a
get her lick
consistent.
back.
But
I
she
feel like-
always does. So
No, she's been
But her
losing.
lick back is not going to be in the form. But here's the thing: you talk about long-term storybook. The lick back is not going to be in the form of Survivor Series match. The lick back is if that situation happens where Io Sky and Bayley takes that title, is Bianca getting it from Bayley. That's the lick back for me. If we're talking long-term booking here, that is the ultimate lick back. And if it happens at WrestleMania, it's a plus.
But she's
It is
beat
a
all of them
major
already.
plus.
correct. But we all know, like, listen, from summer to fall is when Bianca is in the L column.
Right.
That's they build up. That's what they do. That's the foundation. And then they know from January to almost about
We gotta
back
push
again.
her.
We push her. She may win the Royal Rumble again. She may do this. She may do that. So, but I feel like they did right by doing the damage control versus all the other girls. I felt like that was the right
Yeah,
move
that
to
was
do.
that was expected. But here's my thing, because I was talking to Christina and Pablo earlier. It was brought up in our conversation, like who would be a fifth member for Team Bianca if Dakota
yeah.
Kai makes that surprise entrance. Like, I'm not injured no more.
But
I'm
she
jumping
not.
in this match.
I'm gonna tell you right now, she not.
But
She nowhere near clear.
I mean, she almost near clear.
But if she was,
She not clear till like January.
But if she was, who would that fifth man be for? Team Belair, Team Flair. Like, who would that fifth woman be?
I feel like as fans, everybody would go and jump on the Jade bandwagon, and I wouldn't do that so much. I
too
probably
soon.
I would probably have picked someone from like the NXT that needs that rub and to do it that way. Somebody up and coming, like even if it was like a Roxanne Perez
be Lyra.
or
They're really big on Lyra.
and I'm not.
They're really
And I
sold
realize,
on Lyra.
respectfully, I realize she's Becky Lynch 2.0, and
Right.
that's
why
it doesn't connect.
It's
to
another
me.
Becky.
For me, I would
Unfortunately.
think, because it's people like, you know, wrestling where they talking about signing Julia out of New Japan Pro, whatever, and so to have somebody outside of that, yeah, they're gonna look over Jade and people are gonna be upset, but to have somebody who's already well seasoned, who's coming from a New Japan,
you know what it would
who
do?
can take on Kyrie
Kyrie
and
and
them
all
like
that.
that.
But here's the thing: as someone that unfortunately, because listen, there's not that many hours in a day to watch wrestling. I don't watch New Japan, so had them have this girl come in, I'd have looked at her and been like, "Who the fuck is this?"
That's true.
You're right.
But if you watch her matches, and if
I'm not saying that she's not good, because I had asked. I ask her. I sidebarred her. I said, "I know you watch this. Who the fuck is this bitch?" Because I don't know. And
That's what we were talking about, Mariah May.
And I never and I asked about her.
Yeah.
And so like for me, I never like to in wrestling, because I feel like as us as content creators, we have a responsibility to give information that is truthful and knowledgeable. So I'm not gonna talk some shit and be like, "Oh, well, I don't know." Like, no, I'll be like, "Yo, tell me this real quick." So I know what I'm talking about. So I just feel like if they, and if they sign the girl, that's great. Is once again another woman that's talented that could be presented in American wrestling TV. That's great, but they would have to work to get the people to know who she is, because they don't. You have to play dumb as someone that's even putting on a wrestling show. You have to play the whole like they don't know who this is.
Right.
So you're gonna have to present her in a way, which is why I've loved how they presented Jade outside, not even touching a ring, because you'll have fans like, yeah, we all know her, but you'll have people that don't know her, and commentary's done talked about her. They've done interviews with her and things like that, and they've put it on WWE, YouTube, and stuff like that, where it matters. All right, real quick, because then we gotta go. Men's War Games. We got Team Rhodes. I'm gonna try not to be emotional because this is the match his daddy made, and I think it's really dope that he's in it for the first time. So Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randall Keith Orton. Going against Judgment Day, representing Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty. I don't know why they keep calling him Dirty Dominic.
Dumb.
Because it works.
It does, but it does, but it's so problematic. Dirty Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough, the new member of Judgment Day, and Drew McIntyre. So again, whose team wins and who's going to be the Soul Survivor?
We already know across the board who.
Well, we already know Soul Survivor is going to be Cody
Like we
Rhodes.
already know it's going to be what? It's going to be who?
It's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Oh, true. It could be either Cody or Randy together. Put them together.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's going to be Cody and Randy.
Oh, well, yeah, Randall not taking no pin.
Yeah, he's not taking no pin.
He probably even, and someone else brought this up. Somebody was like, yo, his first match back from back surgery 18 months
and he
later.
about to be in
War
two
Games?
cages.
Yo, when he showed up,
But he
that
gonna be
clip of
probably
him-
the last person to enter the ring, so
he'll have
that
some
makes
time to
sense.
get a
Yeah, like that
reprieve,
makes
yeah.
sense.
And it's hilarious because that clip of him being at the performance center, and they were like, wait, you got Randy Orton fresh on back surgery at a performance center? Oh, he cooking. I want that documentary to come out and see, because you know how when Cody...
Yeah, when Cody was with Mello, and I thought that was dope.
The way I geeked, I was like...
I thought that was really dope.
Now, I want to see who he went toe-to-toe with to practice in, because I know Randy Orton... When he snap, when he be turning around, he be hitting the mat.
Yeah, I love that fucking snap. That snap.
Listen. He coming from back surgery. Y'all may not get the snap. Y'all just gonna have to do with
Y'all just gonna
have to deal with the arms up.
We can get it one time
and call it a day. You gonna have to listen. You got to deal with the arms up and then one RKO. That's it.
I want him. Listen,
That's
when
it.
I watched that Evil documentary and he was going into the minor height
was like,
Evil, he was like, yeah, mother. He was slapping himself. I said, I want that. I want all of it. This is what makes me obsessed with you.
Problematic, but I love it for you.
I like it. No, I
love it for you.
Love
It's
that.
my problem, and I love it for me. But I want it at least one time. That's all I'm asking.
No, that
That's
makes
all I'm
sense.
asking.
All right, last thoughts on Survivor Series, ladies, before we do head out.
I feel like this is going to be one of the best ways
Ones
to
for the
close
book.
out PLE season.
Yeah.
Like Survivor Series never really disappoints me, but this right here, when you have people reuniting, people coming back
That you never thought would be in the
never
same
thought
ring.
ever again.
If somebody
Like-
told me a year ago Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes would be in the same ring, I'd have been like, you're fucking lying.
And Charlotte and Becky, given the real life history.
I would, you know what?
Them to where, if you watch Becky's interview after that Survivor Series when they fought and she won, and to where she was like, I started to cry because I knew that it was a part of me that really wanted to kill her in this ring. Like, I wanted to just like leave it all out there.
Yeah.
So you go from a best friend and not speaking for like 2 years.
Yeah.
To come back and to be on the same team and give the nod or whatever, that's big of them and that's growth to
That's
even.
growth.
They
No,
didn't
right.
Because remember, after that, during that time they was on separate shows, and after they were still on separate
shows, yeah.
and they were doing interviews where they was literally dogging each other out.
You know where I think they realize, and I think a lot of wrestlers come into this because you realize you bring up those two, and two people that always had this problem, and they say it and they admit it as grown men. They've admitted it. John Cena and Randy Orton had the same issue, to the point where even after the years evolved, John Cena has gone on record and go, "Listen, I hated douchebag Randy. This Randy now, when he changed before his WrestleMania match against CM Punk, he was like, I love this Randy. This Randy is a full growth Randy." And Randy has said, yeah, I thought he was just a poster boy. But as the years have gone over, I've grown to respect what he's done. There's no choice but respect. So mutually, respect has to come into play, especially when you guys realize y'all are the power players of this game. We will talk about Charlotte and Becky till the wheels fall off. The way that we as kids used to talk about Randy and John and Rock and Stone Cold,
And Austin,
my niece,
and
who
Triple
loves,
H.
who now is obsessed with women's wrestling, by the way, she's going to talk about Becky and Charlotte probably till the wheels fall off.
Right.
No, but that's the beauty. And I think, too, a testament when you talked about your 1 year spat with your best friend, I think with ladies, it's just more of a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think for them, and life's too short to really hold on to those type of grudges. We lost Bray this year. We've lost a few other wrestlers unexpectedly,
Right.
throughout the years. And I just think you get to a point where it's just like, yo, why are we beefing? What's the real issue?
Let's talk.
Becky's now a mom. She's a wife, Charlotte's married again. No shade, just saying. But I really wasn't.
You were.
I just knew that when it came out, it was going to sound shady. So I was just like, let me clean this up. Or let me disclaimer this. It wasn't. No, it was just like, listen, like father, like daughter. I was just saying. But at the end of the
Third
day,
time's the charm.
okay.
Third time's
But
the
I'm just
charm.
saying, at the end of the day, when you're in two different places in your life and you can now have that conversation, I think the two of them, I would hope that the two of them had that conversation and can be friends, because I think at the end of the day, like, they only know what they go through in that industry. And that's why, that's how we are all so close, even as content creators and things like that, because we all understand the struggle. We all understand the hustle. We all understand the adversity that we have to go through, especially as us as Black women doing wrestling content. So I think for them, it was just like a coming to Jesus moment. Like, all right, like, what's really the issue? Why are we not talking? And then they figured that out. And they probably figured it out way before SmackDown even happened. But it's just good it's good to see them on the same team. It's interesting to see if they will remain on the same team.
I know.
But I hope you
that's what
ladies
everyone's looking
make it
at.
to Chicago.
Right.
I will be there live and in color. I'm excited. War Games this Saturday. This is the last Big Four of 2023. So hope that we can do this again for Royal Rumble, maybe even live in Tampa.
Ooh, love that.
Let's think about it. There's some things cooking for Tampa.
Manifestation.
So I think, I really think that people should be in Tampa for Rumble, because there's some things cooking up that'll be really dope.
That's definitely going to lead to the cooking up in
For Philly, correct.
I'm here for the cookout.
Okay,
for the
that part.
cookout.
All right,
Cookout.
ladies, please give everyone your social media, where to find you guys, where to find your content at. To my right. Go for it.
All right, everybody. Once again, it's your girl, Miss Krista B. That's MS_KRISTAB_ on Instagram and MS_KRISTAB on Twitter. Please make sure that you follow us on Those Wrestling Girls, at Those Wrestling Girls everywhere, on YouTube, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram. Twitter is T Wrestling Girls. Make sure you subscribe to our Twitch. We got some good content coming back. We got Schooling and Sound Off. We got a mashup of Schooling and Sound Off that's coming back.
Ooh.
So please make sure you subscribe to our Twitch, our Patreon, and please put that subscribe button on YouTube so you are first in line to know everything that's going on with Those Wrestling Girls.
Right. And I want to also say happy 5th anniversary.
Thank you.
Those Wrestling Girls have celebrated 5 years in the content creating world. It's not easy. It is definitely a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard time, a lot of hard nights and evenings and days. So they had an amazing get together a few weeks ago.
Thank
so I
you.
definitely just
And
want to
they
quickly.
made a thug cry. They made me cry. y'all.
Good.
No.
Yes, they
They
should.
made me cry.
The new
And shout
tag
out-
team champions.
Right, and shout out to my better half, my other half, Miss Queen PR. I wouldn't be able to do this without you, baby girl. Love you.
All right. And to my left.
You can catch me on all my social medias. You can catch me on Instagram at reload.relive, because we always Reloading and Reliving on a Chamber, honey. We move on.
Okay.
Anyway, you can also catch me on Twitter, but leave the drama somewhere else. Relive via film. You can also catch me on YouTube at reload.relive, and we are vlogging. We vlog at our wrestling events. First wrestling event might be Survivor Series, and if it's not, it's NXT Deadline. 'Cause we are in the building.
are in the
We are
building for
there.
Deadline.
I'm excited
So,
about Deadline.
Don't be afraid to interact with me, but against no holla, no mess. I don't do that. But don't be afraid to holler at your girl. Don't be afraid to hit the like and subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And also follow me on TikTok because I commentary a lot. Like I said, I'm not a wrestler, but I love the content.
Woo! Bars. I thank you ladies always for taking the time out, talk about some wrestling, hanging out with me. It's definitely an easier conversation than being between two gentlemen that I am every week on
Because the girls,
live.
It's the girls.
It's the girls.
I'm always outnumbered, so it's always good to have some breath of fresh air in my life. But for those that do not know, you can catch us, the Job of Tears podcast, every week, if not every other week sometimes. But you can subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Shout out to Mr. Black handles TikTok. As you mentioned TikTok, it's funny, he sends me clips of people responding to our clips. And I think it's the funniest thing. I'm just like, yo, I have because I'm not on the Bluebird, I'm not on TikTok. Like, listen, you lucky you get me on Facebook and Instagram. So to see the, people interacting, like, that's what this is about. It's about us having a conversation. And that's what I love when we're able to do episodes like this, because we're able to have just those conversations, just openly, honestly, and just for fun. So thank you for everyone that has tuned in, that has liked. Make sure to follow the ladies. Make sure to support the ladies as they have great content as well. As always, I'm Janelle from HR, here with
Miss Krista B.
and
Seindole B in the building.
hashtag Black Girl Magic, hashtag Black Excellence, hashtag We Are Out.